A man suddenly teleported them with a book that read, "Before I turned 100 years old I was living as a man in Boston, Massachusetts, USA. I was about 6 feet 3. I was working as a very rich YouTuber. I traveled to every state in the USA and have been to Japan, France, Germany, and England. I had a net worth of $472,823 at the best ever, before I spent a ton of it. I had no children, but did have a wife. But now I spend most of my days sleeping and watching game shows. I am 5 feet 7 now because of my age. I am totally deaf in my right ear, but I can still hear pretty well with my left ear, but still quite not perfect. I now have $5,000 because of my job that I retired from. I now also live in the same house that I had when I was younger. I also am a veteran from World War III. Dear Santa, I will be a good addition to your sleigh's reindeer team, because first I am very smart. That matters because I will be able to tell the directions of the houses. It also matters because I could memorize who is naughty and nice. Next, I am also pretty strong. That will help because I will be able to hold up the sleigh in the sky. I also will be able to carry gifts with my strength. The final reason is that I am extremely confident. That will help because I will keep on going and will not turn back. It will also help because I will not get scared of being high up in the sky. Those are the 3 reasons why I think you should let me in the team of your reindeer. Also, my name is Gorgie. I do not want it to rain meatballs, but I would want it to rain water, because if it rains something else and hit you it would hurt. This new writing is about my house. I really love my house because my house is long and short. It has a brownish tannish color. It is located on Turner Road. It has a very big backyard, and in the front yard is a tree that I hang from and climb up almost every day. In my house there is no basement, but there are stairs and a stick. Down the stairs is a room that my dad built. There is a long driveway that I drew video game characters and lots of other things on with chalk. In my house, there is a dining room that we only eat dinner and cereal in, and connected to the dining room is a sunroom that leads to the outside. Next to the dining room is a kitchen and the living room that I spend most of my time in, and in the corner is a huge leather recliner that my mom won at her work before she quit. To the west of the dining room, there is a long hallway that leads to the bedrooms and bathroom. There are 3 closets, one is like a pantry, another is for things like coats, and the final one is just a normal closet. In the downstairs is the previously mentioned room that my dad built, a place that's like a miniature house for my grandfather, a bathroom and a door to the backyard. I have one pet who is a dachshund dog named Frank, but I call him Frankers. Frank and my aunt live in the room that my dad built, and in that room is an absolute ton of movies and books, a small desk, an old TV, a bed, and my already said sausage of a dog, Fank. I play a lot outside, such as doing stuff in the tree that I climb up. Or work on a hole that me and one of my friends, Jake, are digging for no reason. Also, my bedroom is on the end of the upstairs hallway. I have discovered something I fear may end mankind and the universe itself. In the popular children's show, Barney, the first episode holds a great secret. I was playing it for my grandson, when all of a sudden, the screen went black. I noticed that through the bottom of the television a fine purple paste began to pour out. It was followed with the smell of advanced decomposition. The television, without warning, exploded and took off 2 of my grandaunt's fingers. I called 911, but there was no answer. I looked back at my grandson and I screamed as I saw his body parts spread out across the room, with a purple haze all around. A gust of wind from the wall blew into the room and swept out the purple gas, revealing that my grandson was completely unharmed, with just a small burn mark. The purple paste then started growing limbs and teeth. I kicked it with all my force and it began to slither outside, until it grew into what looked like Barney the dinosaur, but melting and with red and black eyes and red teeth. It melted into the floor, and I never saw it again. I have been left wondering what happened that day, ever since. For pretty much no reason, this man was accepted into Legion. They then went to another universe, where they found nothing but an empty bed. In the empty bed they looked under it, and saw a trapdoor. They went under the trapdoor, and found the entire country of Chad and Tuvalu. They blew up everything, and saw one man standing in the wreckage, unharmed. They looked, and it was Chuck Norris. Chucky Boy over here decided to give them negative infinite % of his power. By giving him this amount of his power, their power was multiplied by 436,789 to the power of 67,892. They then created a clone of Chuck Norris, as he wished to stay behind. The clone was not nearly as powerful, but joined the Legion. With this newfound immense power, they were ready to take on his deodorant. The Legion split up into 4 quadrants, all looking for his deodorant. These 4 were respectively led by Mr. Justin, the Clownfish, Justin Bieber, and the Ultra Soldier. The leader of all of these was Sir J. The quadrant led by Mr. Justin started searching the multiverse. They looked in countless universes, finding nothing. They searched far and wide, until they found a universe with an infinite driveway. They saw nothing on this driveway, until they found a small green cardboard cut out the side. This figure was holding a caution, children at play sign in its hands. They investigated the figure further, before it leapt out and attacked them. It leapt at them, but it was incredibly weak, so the Chuck Norris clone roundhouse kicked him into Sir J's bag, which they had taken. With no luck, they returned to the base empty-handed, except for the figure. The Clownfish's quadrant found an interesting universe first, where Ivan the Terrible sat in a chair. They punched him in the face, but he had no reaction. 10 seconds later, he yelled and his face was pushed where they hit him. He must slow down the time in his body, and only his body. He stood up, and suddenly the whole crew got pushed and felt immense pain in their stomachs. Ivan then leapt out of his 10 seconds later and kicked the air where the quadrant members' stomachs were. The Clownfish asked Ivan if he wanted to join them. He looked at them for 10 seconds, with a blank stare, before nodding and leaving his chair and going with the quadrant to the base. Justin Bieber's quadrant then fell into a universe by accident, where there was a man who told them the story that he always loved retro games. I played tons of them when I was younger. But around 2018, I discovered Shovel Knight. I didn't own the game, but I found it on social media, and really liked it. Despite this, I never bothered to actually get the game. But one day, I decided that I had had enough and looked for the game. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I eventually found it, but it looked sort of strange. The seller was anonymous, his username a sequence of seemingly random letters, IQJQD, and nothing in his profile. On top of this, the copy of the game didn't even have a cover. It was just the disc. But I wanted it so badly, I bought it. I knew what happened in the game, so I expected the main storyline to play out. Upon entering the game, the introduction cutscene was missing, immediately taking me into the first level, the Plains of Passage. Everything seemed fine, but some enemies wouldn't die and the game would occasionally freeze up. It was when I got to the second dragon mini-boss, things seemed very wrong. The floor was still there, but invisible. The bubbles that the dragon shot out were black spheres, with flashes of color. There was also no music or sound effects. I beat the dragon, who took about 20 hits to go down, and instead of the usual death animation, the dragon slowly shriveled down into the bottom of the screen, bleeding. Nothing came out of his body. This is when I first thought to myself, that the person who sold me this game must have done something to it. So then I quit and threw it away, finishing the story. He then told them that he also can bend each element, so he joined the Legion after introducing himself as Jaren Anethanen. The final quadrant, one of the Ultra Soldiers was chilling in the middle of the multiverse, taking a break after not finding anything. Just then, a bus pulled up with 4 different Jimbo radicals inside of it, one wearing a suit, one in a hospital bed, one as a skeleton, and one who was immensely overweight. They explained that there was one Jimbo radical, the one in the suit. He didn't know if he should watch Total Drama Action, or he should watch Cocomelon. He cloned himself to watch Cocomelon, while he watched Total Drama Action. He is then forced down the Total Drama rabbit hole. He obsesses over Total Drama, and tells random TD facts to his friends. Jimbo realizes his friends don't like him anymore. He is really upset, a great going idiot, and now Jimbo has no friends.